How you doing, everybody? This is Bones. Hey, I'm going to break this video into two parts because it's a pretty big file, and I think there's a lot of information that we can use that we don't see anywhere else. So if there's anything on here that you want me to go into more detail about, let me know, and I'll go ahead and make another video on whatever it is that you want us to go more into detail with. So I hope it helps. I hope it works for everybody. Let me know what you think. Alright, thanks everybody. Here goes the video. Now, I'm going to switch this over to 5 parts per unit. Okay, you'll see it go down lower. The rate's going a little bit faster. It still gives you a thing. I can slow it down, but it's not going to make a difference. But we're still at a 6-volt swing. Now, I'm going to go and crank the battery charger up to the 50 volt or 50 amp push. And now watch the difference. That's off. See how it's just going straight across? The camera's showing it that it's going, that's pulsing like that, but it's really a straight line on the oscilloscope. So that's a flat rate. Let's go back to 2 parts. Okay, at 2 parts, I'm doing, let me set this oscilloscope on automatic. Actually, it is on automatic. Okay. So let's see if I'll slow it down a little bit. It's actually my battery is only giving out 8.3 volts. It's an old battery. The unit's taken a lot out of it. So it's 8.3 volts. And that's what it's showing on the oscilloscope. It is showing 8.3. If I was to get that real close, you can see it's above the 8, not by much, but it's the 0.3 volts. Alright, now watch. I got to put it back on 5 parts. I'm going to put it on 5 parts per division, 5 volts per division. We're at 8 volts. Now watch the difference. Now we're at 50. We're at a 50 amp. I'm actually running, according to my shunt, at 9.7, 9.8 amps. The battery stopped taking in about 14 amps. And according to our unit, we are at 13.9. But if you look at it, I now have, see, it's starting to flatten out a little bit. I was running at the beginning like an 8 volt difference. But just my point is, I'm trying to show you, it's amazing how dirty, even though it's a DC voltage coming back, going through your rectifiers and everything to try to convert it from AC to DC, how dirty it really still is on the bench. So that's something pretty interesting that you got to keep in mind. That I just thought it was pretty interesting on how dirty that got. So if I put it to 2 parts, what happens is I go up the scale. Well, see, it's going to make a liar out of me. So it's going to stay up. So I'm actually at 14. Well, see, it's actually showing that it's only 1 part. It's only up to about 15 volts. So I'm spiking. I'm holding the 14 volt low, but I'm spiking to about 15 volt. My meter's showing me 14.3. So that's pretty interesting. So I got a 5. I only have a 5.5 volt or a 1 volt difference there on our 50 amp. But if I lower it back down to the 10 amp, now isn't that interesting how it cleaned itself up like that? I'm glad I showed you the beginning first. Now that's staying, but see now according, we'll see what it is. I know it'll slow down. What happened is now it's starting to lose the voltage in the battery. There you go. My power. See, as that's climbing, I wish I had two cameras. My voltage is dropping like a rock. See it? I was up at 13, 14 volts. See it dropping? And the faster it drops, the bigger my swing goes. So now what happens is we're more dependent on the charger now than we are the battery. The battery really isn't doing anything. It's not going to go any lower than the battery current is. See, it's lowering. It's at, you know, between 10 and 14 now. So as that power drops, that's what's going to happen. As that power drops, my voltage drops, my swing is going to increase. So I'm still at 11.4. I'm at 11.3. It's falling. It's not falling fast, but it's falling. And my swing is showing it right there. Pretty interesting. I just thought that was pretty cool. I mean, no relevance to anything that's going on, but just goes to show you how dirty the DC voltage is versus just a battery. So I'm interested to see. I'm going to see how close I can get one of my vehicles to the lab, and I'm going to run a set of jumper cables into the lab. I'm going to hook that up to the oscilloscope, and I'd like to see what the vehicle is. See if the vehicle, because you know, keeping in mind now, remember now, an alternator on a car generates AC. It doesn't. Everybody thinks just because it's in a car it's DC. It's not. You actually have a rectifier diodes inside. It's a rectifier that changes it from AC to DC. You are actually producing three-phase AC voltage from your alternator. One of the projects that I'm working on, it's on the shelf at this point. I have to get it back out once I get this fuel cell to where I'm happy with it, is a windmill. And what I'm using for my windmill is a alternator from a GM. So we're working on that. My whole thought is to have my complete house by the year 2010 running without any outside sources. I'm going to use solar and wind power to operate my house and see how, that's my goal. Hopefully it'll work and I'll be independent from any electric company and won't have to worry about whether I have left the light on overnight or whether the air conditioner in the shop was still running. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. As soon as I find out more on what I'm playing with, I'll let you know. And see, my swing is getting a little bit bigger on the oscilloscope. Not a whole lot bigger, but I'm still pretty much maintaining the voltage though. I'm still 11.2, 11.3. My battery charger has dropped down to 5 volts now. Or I'm sorry, 5 amps. Charger's dropped down to 5 amps. Which is interesting. So let's see, I'm going to get it so you can see it. I know this is going to be upside down, but you're about 5 amps. The one on the bench mounted one. I'm going to change this. I bought that one purposely because I wasn't sure how many amps we were going to be using bench side. I wish I would have got the 0 to 30 versus the 0 to 60. Would have been a little more accurate. But according to our shunt, we are about 7, 6.97. Well, later we dropped down to 5. So, you know, pretty interesting that my battery's kicking out more amperage than it's actually drawing on the battery charger. So that's good to know. It won't be long, trust me. It's because I gave it that shot. So, anyway, guys, that was it. Just some, I don't know what you want to call it, geek information. Just something to give you an idea of what goes on behind the scenes with ourselves. I'll let you know how things work out when I get this bad boy back in the truck again. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.